Salvador, Bahia, Brazil, March 21st, 2001. A phone call. A 14-year-old boy telling his father he's going to sleep at the church, and a mother on the other side of the ocean who doesn't yet know that her life is about to transform into an endless nightmare. This is the story of Lucas Terra, a devout teenager full of dreams who trusted the wrong people. But it's also the story of Marian Terra, a mother who transformed her pain into a fight, her anguish into resistance, and who for over 20 years has been searching for something that seems so simple, yet has become almost impossible: justice. To understand this story, we need to go back a few years. December 1999. The Terra family had a plan: start a new life in Italy. Marian Terra, an experienced cook, had received an invitation from her sister to work at a restaurant in Parma. It was the chance for a better life. Marian, her husband Carlos, and their 3 sons, Felipe, Carlinhos, and Lucas, dreamed together about this new chapter. Lucas Vargas Terra had just turned 14, an outgoing, communicative boy who knew how to express his ideas. But above all, Lucas was a deeply religious young man. Faith wasn't just part of his life, it was the center of it. Marian leaves first, on December 20th, 1999. Carlos and the boys would stay a few more days in Brazil. Lucas wanted to say goodbye to his older brother, Felipe, who lived in Salvador. It was just a temporary farewell, or it should have been. January 6th, 2001. Carlos and Lucas board a flight to Salvador. The idea was to spend a few weeks in the state capital before heading to Italy. They stay at a friend's house in the Santa Cruz neighborhood, and it was there, in that simple neighborhood of Salvador, that Lucas meets the youth group at the Universal Church of the Kingdom of God. For a religious boy like him, it was love at first sight. Not for the place, but for the possibility of evangelizing, of making a difference. Lucas stood out quickly. He was charismatic, dedicated, eloquent. The pastors noticed, especially 3 of them: Silvio Roberto Galizza, Fernando Aparecido da Silva, and Joel Miranda. Lucas dreamed of becoming a church worker, a position of prominence. And on that night of March 21st, 2001, Pastor Galizza said that dream was about to come true. Lucas just needed to go with him to another temple, in Pituba, to receive the tie that would symbolize his new role. Around 11 p.m., Lucas calls his father from a payphone. He says he's with Pastor Galizza, and that, given the late hour, he's going to sleep at the church. Carlos Terra doesn't suspect anything. After all, these are men of God. Lucas Terra never came home again. Carlos Terra starts looking for his son the next day. He calls the church. Nobody knows anything. Pastor Galizza tells different versions about when he last saw Lucas. The stories don't add up. But Carlos still doesn't tell Marian anything. She's in Italy, working, waiting for the family to arrive. He decides to wait. He hopes to find his son first. March 23rd, 2001. 2 days after the disappearance, a body is found in a vacant lot on Vasco da Gama Avenue. It's inside a wooden crate, charred, burned beyond recognition. The corpse is taken to the medical examiner's office, registered as unknown cadaver. Nobody knows who it is, awaiting DNA identification. And Marian, in Italy, still doesn't know anything. The family manages to hide the truth for almost 2 weeks. On phone calls, they make excuses. They say everything's fine. But Marian feels something is wrong. A mother always feels it. March 21st. Monday. Marion's day off at the restaurant. She goes to meet her sisters to go shopping. She wants to bring gifts for Lucas when she returns to Brazil in April. On the way, her sister finally tells her, but not the complete truth. She says Lucas is missing. Marion catches the first flight back to Brazil. Marion arrives in Salvador in early April, and only then does she discover the whole truth. Her son isn't just missing, her son may be dead. And there's a body at the medical examiner's office awaiting identification for over 40 days. A lock of hair, fragments of clothing that didn't burn completely, and finally, the DNA test. The charred body is Lucas Terra's. The report is devastating. Lucas was tied up. His mouth was sealed. He was brutally beaten. And then, while he was still alive, he was burned with a flammable substance. The charring was so intense that it made it impossible to determine the exact cause of death and confirm sexual abuse. But the experts believe there was. Marion Terra has to wait 43 days to bury the body of her 14-year-old son. But while a mother buries her son, the investigation is just beginning. And what it will reveal is even more disturbing. The first evidence points to Pastor Silvio Galiza. He was the last person to see Lucas alive. His stories don't add up. He was near the payphone Lucas called from. And there's more. Fabric fragments found on the body are similar to the curtains used in Universal Church temples. But Galiza's arrest isn't ordered immediately. The investigation moves slowly, and Carlos Terra, still in shock, realizes that justice won't move on its own. Carlos sets up a camp at the door of the Salvador Public Prosecutor's office. Days, weeks, he won't leave until something is done. The press starts to notice. The pressure increases. Finally, in October 2001, Silvio Galiza is indicted. And only then is his arrest ordered. 7 months after the crime. The first trial happens in June 2004. 3 years later, Galiza is sentenced to 23 years and 5 months in prison. The family breathes. Finally, justice. But no. In 2006, Galiza talks, and what he reveals changes everything. According to the convicted pastor, he didn't act alone. Lucas Terra was killed because he witnessed something he shouldn't have seen. Pastors Fernando Aparecido da Silva and Joel Miranda having sex inside the temple. The motive for the crime, according to Galiza, silencing the witness. Lucas was an evangelical teenager, devout, respected. If he told what he saw, the pastor's reputation would be destroyed. So they decided he couldn't tell. Galiza claims that the 3 pastors immobilized Lucas together, that there was an attempt at sexual abuse, and that afterwards, they burned the boy alive. He says Fernando and Joel threatened him to keep quiet, and that he saw Lucas's body inside a crate in Fernando's car. Fernando Aparecido da Silva and Joel Miranda are charged. The Terra family believes that finally the whole truth will come out. But what they don't know is that this battle is just beginning, and that the fight for justice will consume over 2 decades of their lives. 2008. Fernando Aparecido is arrested in Recife, but within months, he's free again, responding to the case while at liberty. 2012. Galiza gains conditional freedom after 7 years. 2013. In a decision that shocks the Terra family, Fernando and Joel are acquitted by the courts. The family appeals. They go to the Bahia Court of Justice, to the Superior Court of Justice, to the Supreme Federal Court. Each instance is a new hope and a new disappointment when trials are postponed, transferred, suspended. Carlos Terra becomes the public face of this fight. He camps in front of courthouses. He speaks to the press. He takes the case to the UN in Switzerland, questioning where the money comes from that pays for expensive lawyers to defend pastors who should be living on modest salaries. The Universal Church denies everything, says there's no proof, that the pastors are innocent, and curiously, promotes Fernando and Joel to the position of bishops. February 2019. Carlos Terra dies. Liver cirrhosis and respiratory arrest. But those who knew him know it was more than that. It was the weight of 18 years fighting for justice, the exhaustion of seeing his son's killers free, working normally, living their lives as if nothing had happened. Marian continues alone, but she's not really alone. Her other sons, Felipe and Carlinhos, are with her. Attorney Tuani Sande takes on the case, and thousands of Brazilians follow the story, outraged, waiting for justice. September 2019. Finally, the Supreme Federal Court decides. Fernando and Joel will face a jury trial. March 2020. The jury trial is scheduled. The family prepares. But then, COVID-19 pandemic. The trial is postponed indefinitely. More waiting. More postponements. More legal strategies. More appeals. April 2023. 22 years later. The jury trial finally happens. Rui Barbosa Forum, Salvador. April 25th, 2023. 3 days of trial. 15 witnesses. 7 jurors. 5 men and 2 women. Almost 40 hours of session. Marian is there. Her sons are there. After 22 years, the faces of the men who killed Lucas will stand before justice. The defense witnesses insist the pastors are innocent. There was never any concrete proof. Galiza lied. Fernando and Joel never had sex in the temple. They never touched Lucas Terra. The prosecution witnesses present the evidence, Galiza's testimony, the fabrics linking the crime to the church, the contradictory versions, the pastor's behavior. April 27th, 2023, 9:45 p.m. After 3 days, the verdict. Guilty. Fernando Aparecido da Silva and Joel Miranda. 21 years in prison in a closed regime. Homicide with 3 aggravating factors: vile motive, cruel means, impossibility of victim's defense. But the story doesn't end there. February 2025. The Superior Court of Justice grants habeas corpus. In a tied vote that favors the defendants, the case rapporteur is changed. Fernando and Joel remain free. The conviction may be annulled. Marian Terra, now 67 years old, files a lawsuit for compensation against the state of Bahia. She seeks reparation for moral, existential, and material damages. For 24 years of fighting, for a destroyed career, for the husband she lost, for the justice that still hasn't arrived. Lucas Terra was murdered 24 years ago. He never became the church worker he dreamed of being. He never went to Italy with his family. He never grew up, never graduated, never got married, never had children. But Lucas was not forgotten. His story became a symbol of the fight against impunity in Brazil, an example of the strength of a mother who refuses to give up. While Fernando Aparecido da Silva and Joel Miranda remain free, working as bishops of the Universal Church, Marian Terra continues her fight. Because some battles cannot be abandoned, because some voices cannot be silenced. This was the Lucas Terra case. The story of a boy who trusted the wrong men, and of a mother who transformed her pain into resistance.